to Doing the Most with me, Cynthia Mallard. Hello. Yes, it looks a little different today, guys. We are on location, live on location. Again, doing the most. Are we doing the most with the time that we have, right? Are we living our lives to the fullest extent? What God has promised, for us to do, right? Today, guys, so excited. I absolutely locked him down. I've been running around after him for like months now. But I want to introduce you guys to Minister of Music here, LaDarion Outley, with Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church. So I just want to say hello.
Yes, thanks for having me.
No, thank you so very much. I know you're like, this crazy lady. She's after me.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Very good. Well, guys, we are, again, coming to you live. We are here at Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church. It's here located at 566 Whitlock, right? Whitlock Avenue in Marietta, Georgia. One of the most premier house of worship to be at. It is my house of worship, and thousands, right? Flock here, which is one reason every Sunday, even in between, the amazing and angelic sounds that we hear. You're laughing every single day, every weekend. You're responsible for all of these amazing songs, these amazing arrangements. So I just felt like for doing the most, we needed to talk to you.
Yes.
We need to talk to you and ask you, how did you get here? First of all, what is it like being the minister of music?
Well, it's a little hectic.
You guys heard that. Just a little bit hectic.
Just a little bit, but it's definitely a joy. It's a love that I have, that I've always had. And so through the busyness and all of that, the running around and making sure everything pulls together for a Sunday morning worship, it's worth it. So,
absolutely. Y'all heard that. It's worth it. Well, I know that being a minister of music, I know we were talking a little bit off air, and I think I was asking you just kind of, how did you get started? Of course, the name Minister of Music, right? Yes. It sounds so complicated.
Yes.
And I just want to know, how did you start?
My start, I started when I was really young. I had people in my life who noticed the gift in my life when I was very young. When I say young, I mean preschool age. I say 3, 4, are some of my earliest memories. When I was in preschool, I actually got a chance to direct the other kids. My teachers, one who turned out to be one of my mentors, he was a music teacher. And so he saw a gift in this little boy from the town of Ruston, Louisiana, 318. And he said, hey, I'll pick him and he's going to direct the children. And I've been doing it ever since.
Okay, guys, you heard him say it, Louisiana.
Yes.
Preschool, right?
Yes.
So we know about Louisiana, right? We know that. So I can imagine you grew up surrounded by music. What was your household like?
Yes. Actually, I have some family who they delve into music, but my immediate family, they weren't really into music like that. Wow. Some of my relatives were, but my immediate family was not. But it was something that I always gravitated towards. Something that I always recognized was a gift of mine. Even when I started playing as a little boy, I didn't necessarily play the right chords or anything, but I had the ear to recognize, hey, that's not right. Hey, fix it. And eventually, it worked itself out. I started playing by ear.
Wow. So you said preschool, right?
Yes.
So preschool you started.
Yes.
I guess going into grade school, going to elementary.
Yes.
What was that like? What was your progression like?
Well, I got a chance in grade school, I would say. In music class. Yeah. I always loved to hang around pianos. Sometimes I would get in trouble hanging around.
Why were you in trouble? What was going on?
Well, I chose the most inopportune times to find a piano.
To go and play.
Yes, and go play
I got you.
So
it was calling you.
I was supposed to be doing,
yes,
it really was. I was supposed to be doing something else that I would get called to. The piano say, hey, come on, play me. That type of thing.
Right.
But I got a chance to play a little bit in music in grade school. Yeah. And then when I was about 12, my grandmother passed away, actually. She had passed away, and we kind of, stopped going to church a little bit. And I had a church mother who was also with me during my preschool years. And she said, hey, come to church with me. And there was another guy, he was about my age, we were about 12 at the time.
Wow.
He was playing lead guitar.
Okay.
Raphael Dade, if you're there.
Yeah.
And then I was, playing a little bit on piano. And from 12 on, I've been a church musician, fully on staff, paid musician since 12.
Ooh, what? So, hey, I let you know, okay, he's not new to this. He's true to this, right?
Yes.
Okay, very
I'm a church
true.
boy, yes.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, because we always talk about music, right? How did you bridge the gap? You know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Right.
We always talk about like secular music versus spiritual music, religious music.
Right.
How did you bridge the gap? How did you choose?
Well, I think my age has something to do with it. I'm 33.
Okay.
But I'm naturally an old soul. I gravitate toward older people. I love the older gospel sounds. For a long time, I didn't really listen to a lot of secular music. I would listen to some, but I wouldn't listen to a lot of it. I would hear it in passing.
Okay.
Don't get me past it, but I listen to more secular music a little bit now, more so than I did then.
So you didn't have the struggle of trying to figure out, okay, am I going to do secular or am I going to stick with the gospel or music?
It's never been
an issue for you.
I always went with Jesus.
Right.
So, always, yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess friends around you, like, what was that like?
I'm kind of a loner. I have friends.
Yeah.
But I'm more so of a loner. I choose my own path. I don't usually gravitate towards a lot of groups.
Yeah.
I'm not easily swayed towards certain things. So I'm pretty much a loner for the most part.
Yeah.
But of course, I love people and I get along with people and I have a large choir. So, all that.
So you grew up in Louisiana.
Yes.
What was because everybody wants to know. I mean, we always talk about it. New Orleans, was that a big influence for you, or
to be honest, where I'm
far? Yeah, let's say how close.
So let me give you a geography.
Okay.
New Orleans is about 4.5 hours from where I am. So I'm North Louisiana. We're considered more country folks. Greens and bread.
And what city again is this?
Ruston, Louisiana.
Ruston, Louisiana. Okay, you heard it from Ruston, Louisiana.
If you heard of Louisiana Tech University, Grambling State University, you pretty much kind of know the area. So going to New Orleans
wasn't like a big thing.
So it was not. It was not. I have family there, so we would go for family outings.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a lot of opportunities to spend physical time in New Orleans. Okay. But I can say the Bishop Paul Sylvester Morton and Greater St. Stephen Full Gospel Fellowship, or the church itself, they were a big influence. I love to hear them sing.
Now is that church in Ruston?
That's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans.
If you know of Bishop Paul Morton.
I'm gonna tell you, I've been to New Orleans a million times or whatever. It's an amazing city. So I said you had to be possibly influenced by the music there.
Yes. Yeah. So I do have ties family-wise to the city. Yeah. And this music-wise, I say that Bishop Morton was a big part of with him being in New Orleans and having that amazing church choir.
I gotta ask you the golden question.
Yes.
Minister of music.
Yes.
Is it okay for me to call you a choir director? Is that like appropriate? That's part of the title?
Yes.
Or?
It is.
Okay.
And actually, if I can break the news, I'm actually the director of worship and arts.
Wow.
So my title has been changed, and so my job description will change a little bit, where I'll be more so over all of worship and arts.
You guys heard it here first. You heard it here. Mr. LaDarion Outley. So give us that new title again.
Yes. Now. So Director of Worship and Arts for the Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church.
Director of Worship and Arts. Yes. I am so amazed. Oh,
yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So the golden question is, and for me, how do you choose songs? I think everybody wants to know that.
Okay.
I know there's so many.
That's a good question.
I know there's so many
question.
Ways, but how do you, how are you inspired to lead worship? What I mean? Whatever the event it is.
Yes. Well, song selection process for me, of course, my upbringing, that does play a part into my song selections. Yeah. Being conscious of what is it for. Sunday morning worship music is different than if we were doing a concert. Absolutely. We can do a little bit more with concert, but you have to keep in mind, what's the goal? What are you there for?
Right.
So of course, you want the song to sound good, but the lyrics, the purpose of the song, all of that plays a part into. And then, of course, my musical influences, being a country boy. And
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I have been witness, like I was telling you guys earlier, and of course, talking with you off air. I have witnessed your arrangement. And it is out of this world. Like I said, I am not musically inclined, but I guess just my basic knowledge of like the different parts. How did you learn how to do that? Because let's be honest, guys. Everybody can't do that, right? Everybody can't put it together and make it sound right? If you put Cynthia Mallard up there, it'll be a holy hot mess. So yeah.
Well,
That's an art. That's an art.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's more so God-given. Like a lot of it, and I don't mean to be cliche-ish or, make it sound fluffy or anything or deep. But it really is God-given. Once I hear something, I'm like, that's it. Yeah. Like once I hear it, I know that's it. Or once I change something, rearrange it, I'm like, I don't like. But once I hear it and it sounds good, usually it translates. You
kind of just go with it, right? Yeah. So you were telling me earlier you play by ear.
Yes.
So are you trained like in like music school? Like did you go to music school once you hit high school or after that college or?
Okay, so yes, I did. My thing is I started by ear first.
Gotcha.
So I kind of went a little backwards with it for song. I started by ear first. And so the music, once I sat down to learn, I already knew how to play. So trying to learn notes and stuff, I did learn notes. Wow. I went to university level, Louisiana Tech University. Wow. I sat in Dr. Lisa Maxidon's office under her studio. Wow. So I studied voice a little bit and everything. So I do have that side of me. Yeah. But everything I have is, I'm telling you, it's God-given. I'm telling you. Yes.
Well, like I said, if you are just joining us, I am talking to Director of Worship and Arts for Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church right here in Marietta, Georgia. I am so happy he allowed me to come here, to come to his workshop. I like to say we are actually in the choir room.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So we are in the choir room, guys, and like I said, we have some of the instruments behind us.
Yes.
And then we'll get around to, he'll show us just a little bit of that. I don't want to take all of his time up because you already know I can't take all of his time.
Take all the time you need.
Very good. So you were talking earlier, and of course I witnessed, but everyone hasn't heard, you are a singer. You are a singer also. So we talk about, you can direct and you can arrange, but not only can you do that, but you are a vocalist also.
You are my strength like no other, strength like no other, reaches to me.
The vocals, it really came, I think I've always had it, but I didn't use it until later, and I use it more so now sometimes more than I care to. Because I'm the type who I like to be in the back room, arrange things, organize things, put it where it is, and then just push everybody else out front.
You like to be in the background.
Yeah, I do. I really do. But now with this position I have to step out, a little bit. And,
well, they say true power rests behind the throne, right?
Yes.
The throne, the throne.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love that, right?
Yes,
absolutely. So, were you nervous?
I'm nervous.
To jump out in front and start the singing, or was it kind of just?
I'm nervous every Sunday.
No way.
Every Sunday.
No way.
I'm nervous every Sunday. Because, you want to make sure. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
If you're off just a little bit, off key, off kilter, it can affect somebody's worship. Honestly, it can throw somebody off. So I'm nervous every time I come in Sunday morning. Yeah. I used to be a track star, believe it or not.
And I did too. I used to run also. 400, 100. I'm not lying. See, y'all like Cynthia just trying to pull out. Right. No.
I didn't do those sprints.
What'd you do?
I was mid-distance to long distance, 800, 1600, 3200.
Oh, awesome.
5K.
Track life. Very good, very good.
So and I was pretty good, not to toot my own horn, but I was pretty good in my state. In every race I ran, I was nervous. but it's a good nervous.
It is a good nervous.
So
right.
that's why I correlated to being a worship leader. So when I have to do that, and then if I'm nervous, I don't worry about it. I just say it's a good nervous.
Yes,
you're focused. So.
You are prepared,
yes.
right? That's
yes.
how I feel. Many times when I'm like taking on just different, challenges or whatever, I'll get nervous and I'll say that means I'm ready.
Yes,
that means I'm ready,
yes,
right?
It does.
What I can imagine that music has, pull you through.
Yes,
pull you through sometimes.
Absolutely.
Like I said, this whole show is called Doing the Most with Cynthia Mallard, but it's really about, like I said, doing the most. We all are given time.
Yes.
Are we living up to our full potential? Like, are we doing exactly what God has stamped us with, right?
Right.
So I just wanted to know, were there some times in life that you can relate to us right now that may help someone else, and explain, tell us exactly what it was and how you got through it.
Absolutely. I actually went through a period while I was here, actually, if I'm being transparent, where I didn't want to do music anymore. Wow. I couldn't find the joy in it. Life, you know how life kind of beats you up and it gets you down. Sometimes it gets the best of you.
It does. If you live long enough, you go through it, right?
Sometimes it gets the best of you. I was going through challenges where I was living. I was going through challenges trying to find a stable home. My car, my vehicle. Yes.
We've all been there, right?
I was spending a lot of money on Ubers, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I kept getting up in the morning, and I tell people this all the time: keep getting up. Put one foot in front of the other. That's all you can do. And then, like you said, or like Pastor said, he said this recently, you look around and then all of a sudden you're the director of worship and arts at a place where you've been so long, where you did not want to be, and now you love it. Like
when you say you got to a point where you didn't want to do music again, did it hit you where you woke up and you were like, I'm not singing, I'm not playing? Explain to us what you mean by that.
Well, it became a job. It became a job for me.
Mundane.
Yes, it became mundane. I've been doing this a long time. Over 20 years.
Over 20.
Well, if you count when I was really young.
Yeah, of course. We're actually over 30 years. Absolutely.
Because I've been doing it a long time. But when I say professionally, meaning I've been a paid hireling of the church, it's been about 20 years that I've been doing it. So over a 20-year span, you kind of get a little worn out and you go through life. And
you do.
You're not out of church. And so you don't really have a down moment. Like you have to come to church. You have to come even through your hard times. You have to keep coming even if you don't feel like it. You're crying. I remember sitting out in the car one day, and not to go on too much, but I remember sitting out in my vehicle one day and I just cried. I boo-hoo cried before I had to get out. I was just, I don't know, I was just in a space where I was like, God, I can't do this.
Yes.
But they said, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And here I am.
And here
doing
you
it. Yes.
are.
Yes, doing it.
I have to ask you, because I've always wanted to know, just even watching you and observing you and just kind of being in your space, what's your favorite song?
Woo!
LaDarion.
My favorite song.
Yeah. I hate to put you on the spot like
It's
that,
so many.
but that's kind of what we do here. Doing the most,
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I would say it have to be some of those songs that I listened to my grandmother with. We wake up Sunday mornings. There was a gospel show, local gospel show called the Ernie Miles Show, and Mississippi Mass would come on a lot.
Oh, I remember that.
And I love Your Grace and Mercy. Your grace and mercy brought me through. I love that one. Near the Cross. Everybody love Near the Cross.
How does Near the Cross go?
Jesus, keep me near.
And then give me another one. Just one last one. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Mississippi Mass. I love what is it? I got two of them. Okay. It's Good to Know Jesus.
Now, give us a little rendition of that so we'll know.
It's good to know Jesus. Everybody ought to know. It's good to know Jesus. He's the lily of the valley, my bright and morning star. It's good to know. It's good to know the Lord.
I know the song, but I want to hear you.
I'm a little.
You are.
I love that one.
We have little tricks here on doing the most. You know I know
She's
the
not
song.
gonna trick me again.
Very wonderful.
Yes,
I have
I
to
love
ask
music.
you because I know, like I said, this is a choir night. But listen, rehearsal for you. But
Yes.
give me your favorite artist, favorite gospel artist.
Well, I have several of those too.
Okay, you can give me your top three.
I'm gonna give you one group.
Oh, okay.
The Clark Sisters.
Oh my goodness. Whew.
Pick any of them.
Look, you just took the wind out of me as well as all of us that are listening
Pick
and
any of 'em.
watching.
Pick any of them.
Favorite song by the Clark Sisters, though?
Woo!
They did it all.
They did.
They did it all. So
Twinkie Clark, if you're listening, I love you. She's amazing.
Absolutely.
She wrote just about all of their songs. I think the other sisters started writing them
I didn't
later.
know that, but
she wrote just about all. If I had to pick one of their songs, I like. They have a song called "Cast Your Cares."
Okay.
Donna Lawrence later did it. That's a beautiful song. I love their mother, Maddie Moss Clark, Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, and a lot of her music.
It's interesting that you bring up the Clark Sisters. And I can imagine you've kind of been encountered with lots of celebrities when it comes to the music arena.
Yeah. I've had a chance to
work?
to be around and work with a few artists.
Like who? Give us some drop some dime here.
Well,
get the tea. Get the tea. Yes.
Well, I'll give you Pastor Vincent Bohannon. I am a member of his Atlanta choir. He has two choirs, one in New York, Sounds of Victory, and then he has a choir here in Atlanta. He started about 4 years ago, the Victorious Army. And we just had rehearsal Saturday. So he's actually like, hey, Pastor Vincent, if you're watching, he's actually, I would liken him to like the new James Cleveland, if you will.
Wow.
His penmanship when writing songs is next to none, and we're going to have him, if I have my way, we're going to have him on our album, or at least write a song when we decide to do an album here.
Did y'all hear that? An album. We are breaking news here on Doing the Most live on location. Yes, Pastor Dow, we are breaking. So, as the director and of worship, what's on the horizon? Like you just talked about, an album. I know you can't really give away too much, but is that what's in the works?
Yeah, we want to work toward, and we are working towards doing an album within the next, I say, where are we? Couple years, year and a half, 2 years. But more recently, we've sang at a couple schools. We did a school function today. We have a Praise in the Park event coming up here in Marietta in April 16th, if you guys are available. So we'll do that April 16th, right in Marietta Square. So just things like that. We have a few concerts that we're coming up with here, and the choir's excited. We have robes and everything that we're going to break out here pretty much soon. And we have a lot of things in the work.
You talk about the choir. So how many people do you manage? Because I know you have the kids choir, you have women's, how many people are you tasked with managing?
Well, I don't really have a roster yet. Right now, we're actually, even though I think Pastor's been here, 6 years or so, and I think I'm right at 7.5 years. And we're still in the vision stages of what we want our ministry to look like, including the music ministry, what we're talking about today. So I say I have about...
Because you interchange,
So I would say in our main choir that we're using now, I have about 55 members, 50 to 55. And then once we bring back the children, coordinate with the children's church. And, and again, worship and art. So I have the praise dancers, the mimes, we have bells, we have a praise team. So if you add those numbers up, I say it's
well over hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yes.
Well, like I said, of course, I've done the television, film, and so I know you have also. So I think the most recent movie that you were in and the choir, what movie was that?
There was the choir got an opportunity to be a part of the Marvin Sapp biopic.
Yes, so, I remember that.
And they actually use our facility here at the church. So if you see there's some of the church scenes during that movie, during that film, that is our church, Pleasant Grove, right here in Marietta, Georgia. And some of those choir members are choir members here at Pleasant Grove. Yes. You
just do not know how happy I am to sit here. Guys, is he not an amazing interview? I mean, you're real. You are doing amazing.
Thank you.
With what you have. You talked to us about, there was a time you felt like, music, I'm going to stop, there's no way. Because I witness it every single week. There is no way. I'm sure someone would have been at your door, like knocking, trying to drag you out, right? Well, I just want to, advice for those who possibly want to follow in your footsteps. You mentor a lot of kids here. I see you with the young folks around.
I love them. That's where I started.
I know. So just advice for them, and even for those who are of age. And give us some advice from LaDarion Outley. When it gets rough.
When it gets rough, I would say trust God. Follow what He told you to do. My mom always says, trust your first mind, or in other words, trust your gut. Yeah. But follow what the Lord told you. You know when He told you to do something. Now, it may not pan out how you want it to pan in your time frame. I think that's a lot of our issue. And it's me. Yeah. I want things to work on my time.
It's all of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want it to work on my time, how I want it to work. I got a plan A. I don't have a plan B. This plan A is it. Mm-hmm. But when it doesn't, when it falls, what do you do? Yeah. Keep getting up in the morning. Keep
like
putting,
you told me.
Yes, like keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah. Trust God. Pray. He'll give you guidance. Yeah, he'll give you guidance.
Absolutely. Definitely. I would say, is there a way that we can contact you? Someone looking for maybe an extra word, or maybe someone who even wants to join you here at Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church. Give us a contact that you can give out, and don't mind everyone, bombarding.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can use my email address right here at the church. Okay. And that's my first initial L, as in Larry, or LaDarion, excuse me. And then my last name, Outley, at pleasantgrove.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Of course, all my guests who come on doing the most, I always have to say there's one thing that I want to stretch out to you, LaDarion. First of all, thank you. Thank you so very much allowing us to come into your space.
Thanks
thank you for adding to this show.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I said, we are just starting. And for you to agree to be here, it means everything.
Yes, I'm thankful for you having me. I think this is my first sit-down interview.
Oh, really?
So when we look back on this is going to be a momentous occasion. Maybe we can play some clips down the road.
We will do it. We will do it. But like I said, the last thing I want to tell you is, Mr. LaDarion Outley, you are doing the most with everything that you have. And thank you. Keep going. You see what you get here, doing the most with me, Cynthia Mallard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today's Doing the Most in Action is an amazing one. And it's a simple one, right? Every single week, I try to give you something that's simple, a tool that you can kind of, put in your mind, be able to say it, and be able to follow through with it, right? So today I want to ask you, have you ever observed a dog? Have you ever observed a cat, a bird, an eagle, hawk flying? What about a frog? What about a whale or a fish that's swimming so beautifully and elegantly through the waters, right? So if you haven't, I want you to go and observe God's wonderful animals of this earth, right? Each of them know who they are. Have you ever seen a fish try to act like a dog? No, it sounds funny, right? But there's a point to all of this. Have you ever seen a giraffe with this long, beautiful neck, right? Try to be a turtle. No way. A turtle wouldn't be a giraffe, and a giraffe would definitely not like being a turtle, right? I say all that to say, you have to know who you are. It's so often that in life, all of us, right? We're guilty of, I want to act like that person. Sometimes we have looked at someone else's life. We have been around someone and I want to act like that. I want to talk like that. I want to be everything that they are, right? Mistake. You are special. I say this all the time. Act like you. What's wrong with acting like who you are, who God has blessed you to be, right? So animals of this earth, they know a turtle knows to act like a turtle. A fish knows to act like a fish. Your beautiful puppy knows to act like a beautiful puppy dog, right? So why is it that you don't know how to act like who you are, who you are born to be? Hey, listen, this is not just for you. It's for me also. This is doing the most in action. Look in the mirror. Look and see how wonderful you are, your amazing gifts, and the things that you bring to the table. It's time to act like you. No one else, but act like you. That's it. It's that simple. Listen, be sure to subscribe right here. Subscribe. Be sure to comment. And most of all, share. Share this with someone who needs it more than anything else. Okay. I love you. Love coming to you every single week. Wish I could do a little bit sooner, more frequent, right? We're working on that. So listen, again, I love you. Don't forget, you can always reach me at doingthemostlife@gmail.com. That's right. And of course, hearmetalk@gmail.com also. As always, continue doing the most. See you next week.